Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I get my brows on, and this is using all drugstore products. So it's really affordable, well, except the tweezers. The tweezers are a little bit more pricey, but they're amazing. You guys have been requesting my brow routine and how I fill in my brows for my YouTube videos. So this is kind of like my more perfect, more intense brow that I use for filming, and it's pretty easy to do, and I'm going to show you guys step by step how I get them done, how I groom them, and all that good stuff. So if you guys are curious to see how I got my brows to look like this and my step-by-step routine, and just keep on watching, I'm going to show you guys right now. So the first thing I like to do is just check for any stray hairs on my brows, and I also have a lot of ingrown hairs, so I'll show you guys what I use to get the ingrown hairs. Those are those little like black dots that you see, especially if you have dark hair like me. You always get ingrown hairs. If you have lighter hair, you might not get them as much. So this is the tweezer I use. It's the point tweezer from Tweezerman, and it's super fine. Actually, you have to be really careful with this because you could really hurt yourself or poke yourself, so be careful with this, you guys. But this gets the ingrowns out so well. Check for any ingrowns I might have. My eyebrows grow like weeds, so I have to constantly be grooming them and plucking them and trimming them. If I trim my brows, they grow back so quickly, like within days, so I'm always constantly having to keep up with my brows and my brow maintenance. Everyday tweezing, I use my regular Tweezerman slant tweezer. This is the best tweezer in the world. If you guys have not tried this yet, you need to try it. Definitely check this out. Kind of just look above the brow line and see if there are any hairs there. I try not to go overboard, but I also get hairs out here in the unibrow. Definitely get that. And I try to avoid tweezing in this area right here because I feel like when I tweeze there, I mess it up. My eyebrows get jacked up. So I try to just avoid this area unless I see a really low stray hair. I usually just work in the arch region, and then sometimes I get strays down here and then kind of up here. And if I see any stragglers like up top, I'll get them, but I try not to go in too much towards the top because, like I said, your brows will get jacked up. So just be very careful when you're tweezing. Just get really close to the root. Don't pull from the end of the hair because you might split the hair. Make sure you're going really right up to the hair and then grabbing really quickly. Don't go slow or else it'll hurt really bad. So those are just like some tips for you guys in case you were like scared of tweezing or you've never tweezed before. I used to always get my eyebrows threaded, but now I don't get them threaded. I just keep up with them myself. I find that I'm so much happier doing that because I can maintain the shape and I don't have to worry about someone else dictating the shape of my eyebrows. They always made them too thin, so now I control my eyebrows and I'm just so much happier with myself doing it. Next thing I like to do, and I have to do this often because like I told you guys, my eyebrow hairs grow back so fast. So what I will do is I will take a little spoolie. What I'll do before I trim is I'll just kind of brush the hairs up. I don't always do this, but just to kind of assess how long the hairs are and see where we're at basically. And I trim them with my Tweezerman brow shaping scissors. These are the best. They are so smooth when you're using them, and they also fit really nicely on the line of the brow. So I really like these. They're very high quality. What I do is I kind of like to start at the front. This is where my hairs get long, and I will just trim away any excess and just, again, be careful not to trim too much. I've done that before, and then, you know, when your eyebrow looks really short in the front because you cut off too much, just be careful. Always start a little bit higher up. You don't have to go crazy, just do a little bit, as much as you feel comfortable with. You can just brush through them again if you want to kind of get off any little hairs that you got when you were cutting, so it kind of just dusts everything off. And also prepares you for our next step, which is filling in the brows, which is my favorite part. I really like the formula. This is the e.l.f. Lock On Brow Cream, and I use medium brown. I fill in my brows because I want them to look natural. I make sure I use a really thin angled brush. This one has been my favorite recently. It is the Essence Angled Liner Brush. I got this on Ulta's website. It was like $2-3. I just added it onto my cart when I needed something extra to get free shipping. This is great for filling in your brows. I just start at the front of my brow, so I am just following the natural shape of my brows. So I have some sparseness in the front, but I can still see what my natural shape is. So I'm just following that line on the bottom, and I'm gonna just point the brush there, and then I just draw in like that. And then I flick the brush upwards like this. And then I turn it, and then I brush it in. And I just kind of use little strokes like this to make it look more natural. And then I don't do much over here because I don't want them to look too thick. I'll just take whatever's left on the brush and just fill in this top area, which can also be a little bit sparse on me. I don't do much in the end because there's nothing to fill in over there, and anytime I try and fill in over there, it ends up outside my brow line and it just looks stupid and I wipe it away. So I mainly focus on the front part and a little bit on the arch. And then I just like to brush the product up like this. And I'm just distributing anything that's left on the brush throughout my brows. I'm not going in and adding more. This brow is done and this brow is not done, so you can see the difference. I'll just very, very lightly go over it with the spoolie a little bit, just to spread the product a little bit more. Then I don't do this every day, but this is more for videos when you guys see my brows, but I like to carve out my brow a tiny bit. So all you need is a thin synthetic brush like this one. So you can see it's thin and it's kind of squared. There's a hair on my finger. It's kind of squared off. I just take a very small amount. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. I'm putting some on the brush and then I'm wiping it off. Just gonna go right underneath and then I drag it down and blend it out. And I also go on the side sometimes. This is also good if you mess up your brow and you want to fix it. Go on top a little bit. I'm not too intense with it. I just do a tiny little bit. This is also another good way to see what hairs you need to tweeze, because then your brow looks really perfect and you can see kind of like what doesn't belong. Just a little tweezing trick. I was pretty much done now. I just set it. I use my Tweezerman brow mousse to set my brows. I love this because it does not make my brows crunchy. Anastasia brow gel makes my brows so crunchy and stiff. I can't stand it. This is actually a conditioner, so I just use this to set my brows in place. So I'm just going to brush through my brows a little bit. This also helps to make them look more natural. And like I have some stragglers up here. I actually should tweeze that. So just come a little bit closer so you guys can see better. So this is the brow we just did, and this is what my brow looks like when it's not filled in. So it's still thick, it's just a little bit sparse. So yeah, that's how I fill my brows. Alright you guys, so that is how I fill in my brows for YouTube tutorials. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet. I would love to have you guys back again. And if you guys have not hit that bell yet, turn on the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any future videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!